Formula One has left the European circuit and now starts the Asia runs. Welcome back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Not many races were made on the calendar then in the Singapore Grand Prix this weekend before we head over to Japan in 7 days' time. Qatar takes us into October, along with a sprint race both there and at the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. October rounds out with the Mexico Grand Prix before we go to Brazil, Las Vegas, and then the season rounds out in Abu Dhabi. Can't crown it here, but can do it in Japan. Max Verstappen is on the verge of his third world title. Sergio Perez in second on 219 points. Both of them, however, could wrap up the Constructors' Championship. More on that later. Fernando Alonso is ahead of Lewis Hamilton from Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. George Russell ahead of Lando Norris. And then we get Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon in 11th. On the second page, Oscar Piastri with 12th, and then it's Alexander Albon ahead of Hülkenberg, Bottas, Zhou Guanyu's just re-signed for another year with Alfa Romeo, then ahead of Tsunoda and Magnussen, the last points pairers. Further down, Sargent, Lawson, De Vries and Ricciardo, still no points. De Vries no longer in the championship, Ricciardo out with a broken hand. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way and could wrap up the championship this weekend. More on that later. Mercedes on 273 points, Ferrari 228. The fight is on for second. Then it's Aston Martin ahead of McLaren, who've moved back ahead of Alpine. Williams now 10 clear of Haas, who are a point clear of Alfa Romeo. AlphaTauri still on 3. Let's take a look around this Singapore street circuit in Marina Bay. Modified for the third time in its career, this latest version is faster than ever. Get a good exit out of the last corner and boot towards the line. Down towards turn 1 then, very heavy on the braking zone as well. Braking around about 60 metres, flick the car into the left, a right and then another tight left. It's a sort of a straight line you've got to navigate with some corners. Good exit which gives you a run down towards the Kinkert turn 4 that leads you down Raffles Boulevard and the first of the DRS zones. Open it up and control the exit. Try and keep as close to the wall as you possibly can, but keep a complete straight line to the hard braking zone of turn number 6. Flip the car up as well on the curb. 7 and 8 now coming up against you as well as the track incredibly tightens up. The narrowness of it gets really tight. Just come through turn 9. Out now towards turn 10. The old Singapore sling past the hotel as well on the right hand side. Flip the car in as you now approach into the Anderson Bridge. Used to go over the left side, now we go over the right side as you hurtle down the brakes in towards turn number 12. New section of the track coming up then as well. No longer do we go underneath the famous part where Nelson Piquet crashed in 2008. Now it's a straight line coming out of turn number 14. Hurtle it down, not a DRS zone, but there's where you used to turn off. Now it's a straight run down. Should be very easy to overtake, but it comes up with a very heavy braking zone into the original chicane. Down at now 18 and 19. It's going to be very interesting to see how this part of the track shapes up. Last 2 corners, flick the car through, accelerate to the line. It's around 10 seconds faster than new Marina Bay circuit. Everybody, and welcome up to the commentary box. We were just hearing a very interesting topic about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2021 and the whole Felipe Massa situation. Toto Wolff just took in the press conference on Sky. We came to that We were hearing it, you didn't. So, first of all, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Live coverage on JB Motorsports 2 and JB Motorsports Twitch as well. Full replay coverage on the JB Motorsports main YouTube channel. Alongside me is Jess and Omi. But we were just hearing that Toto Wolff is watching on the sidelines whatever is going on with the whole Felipe Massa situation. So, Jess, starting with you, it is a very tricky circumstance, isn't it? Because it does set a precedent, all this challenging championships that's gone before. We've discussed it many a time, but it's come a crop here in Singapore because this was the scene 15 years ago where it happened. And there's a lot of people talking about it this weekend. Massa's not here. The legal team have been saying that they hope Hamilton will be on their side. It's just an absolute mess once again, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's not just the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix that could come into question. Obviously, it sets precedent, what we saw with Toto Wolff with the 2021 Grand Prix. Who would have thought that we could have other championships and Grand Prix that could be investigated because of this? So if this one goes ahead and Massa wins the 2008 World Championship, I think there'll be a lot of drivers that'll be protesting previous races. There's got to be, clear deadlines, in my opinion.
And Omi, how much is that going to be playing on the mind of Max Verstappen? Lewis Hamilton recently has been trying to get back into his head, saying that he doesn't think Verstappen's had any good teammates that can really challenge him alongside. He's been saying all these things about how he's not thinking about 2 years ago, and at the same time saying about the whole situation that he would progress something in a legal route about 2021. It seems like everyone in the paddock is trying to get in Max's head at the moment, but Lewis especially, just trying to get back. Is that a sign that things could be improving at Mercedes?
Absolutely. Mercedes obviously are wanting to improve, get back on Red Bull's level, but that's definitely what Mercedes will be wanting. And yeah, Hamilton with those messages as well could be indicating, because possibly could he start bringing the fight once again. So yeah, it is really interesting, but it's just chaos absolutely everywhere on this topic. It's just chaos. And if there was to be a decision change for Singapore, then what about Belgium from that year as well? It's just going to cause so much chaos. And then all the other years as well, especially 2021, as Mercedes saying they're watching on the sidelines. Then they're going to go straight for 2021. And then you have so many different issues going on and more championships being discussed.
Jess, you got anything to add to that with a chaos button or two?
Hang on a minute.
Chaos! Cars go bang there, cars go bang here. Cars go fly! Everything's gone crazy! There's your hourly update.
There we go.
What's even better about that is that on the original commentary, there's track noise in the background of that. So how on earth you've managed to get that so it's just my voice, I don't know. Okay, here it comes then. Stand by for practice 3 here from the Singapore Grand Prix at the Marina Bay circuit, the last hour of practice. It's the final practice session for the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, right in the heart of Singapore. This track surrounded by the beautiful metals, wooden skylines as well of Singapore and the beautiful nature forests. It really is a combination of the two, Singapore, and it marks the first of the flyaway races to end the 2023 campaign. It's round 15 of 22 in 2023. The track a little different to what we've seen before as well. Full throttle around about 40% of the lap as well. Top speed around about 196 miles per hour, 19 turns, 5.30 meter elevation change. No longer going around the marina section. It's gone straight through due to building work, so it does lose a main grandstand as well, but they've done their best to get it back. Pirelli have brought in their C5 soft tyre, C4 medium tyre and C3 hard tyre to take through as well. And as they come back in as well, we're all set for what's going to be a very interesting third practice session. Not really relevant as well, it's partially cloudy, but the sun is still out here at a night race. 31 degree is air temperature, 39 degree track temperature, 69% humidity at high, 4.6 km/h wind speed blowing in from the southeast as well. Alongside me in the commentary box for this third session, as they have been all weekend, it's Jess and Omi. Josh T is alive. He talked in the Discord yesterday, which everybody went nuts about. He actually said he was going to join for practice too. He thought we had 20 minutes left, not realising that he was watching the JB Motorsports rerun on the main channel, not the live stream on JB2 or Twitch. So good morning everybody watching every version of the stream. And Jess, good morning to you. Pretty much a useless hour ahead of us, but already there's been another lizard on the track. We had a brief yellow before the session started, but all looking good.
Sorry, my camera just froze out. I don't know what happened there, but I was predicting, I think I was lurking on the stream yesterday morning, I was predicting that we could see more lizards coming up today, because it's obviously hot in the afternoon and stuff like that, and I think SHT predicted it as well, and George, so yeah, not that surprised. We could see some more yellows, I think.
Omi, good morning to you. All set. Ferrari, possibility of a 1-2. Leclerc, Sainz FP1, Sainz Leclerc FP2. Ferrari 7/10 faster on race trim than Red Bull. Red Bull with no rear grip. Do we dare dream? Is this the day? Can Ferrari be the team to end the Red Bull run like they did for McLaren in 1988?
Now, obviously, their qualifying pace does look absolutely incredible, and even with that extra straight added on, it's still a very, very hard circuit to overtake. You're still going to be able to defend. So Ferrari definitely do have a shot, but they need to get their strategy right tomorrow, and that's going to be the main thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they take pole position, because obviously they look fast, and they have been fast in qualifying at points this season, and this is one of their strong tracks, so they're definitely going to be in the fight. They won't be the only one. They'll have McLaren for company possibly as well. So going to be really, really interesting to see how this weekend does go. But it's mostly going to be about the race, how that one goes. And Ferrari are going to have to be absolutely fantastic with the strategy to take the win.
So we're all set then, less than 30 seconds until the session gets underway as well. This final hour, there's Zhou Guanyu watching on as well. Risk of rain is 20% coming into this session. DRS has been disabled in zones 2 and 3. Don't know why at the moment. It'll hopefully get activated again soon. But the cars begin to fire up and head down, including that of Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas, and the green light goes on, and the final hour is underway, and Bottas heading straight out there, as well as Zhou on the soft compound tyre, as we predicted them to as well. Get some longer runs in to see what it is like. And let's hand over then to Sky F1, say good morning to them, and Ted Kravitz down the pits.
Down in the pit lane. Hello, Crofty. Hello, Danica. Hello, everybody. Right, so, do you believe, guys? Do you believe?
I believe.
Do you believe?
I don't know what I believe in, but I believe.
Because the others don't believe. What about
what
them?
others, and what are we talking about now?
Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Do you believe that Red Bull are vulnerable? Do you believe that this is the circuit where they're going to end 10 wins in a row for Max Verstappen, 15 wins in a row for the team? Do you believe that they are vulnerable in the race? Qualifying is a different thing. Different thing completely. They haven't been on pole in all the races. Not close to it. Well, pretty close to it, but not by any means. But the other teams, I've got to tell you, don't really believe it yet. And maybe this session and qualifying will change their minds, because just to carry on what Karun was saying when he was eyeballing the cars in the pit lane, they are still now changing bits. They had the dentist drill out a second ago on Max Verstappen as they were chamfering a bit of carbon fibre, or making a fix from yesterday. Chamfering, I like to use that word. And he's ready to go. So even though we have a green light and everybody is able to go out if they want, and I expected Verstappen to be one of those first cars, they're not. They're in the garage. Sergio Perez on the other side of the garage, sitting there. Fewer changes to his car, visibly, just from the outside, in terms of those changes being finished off ahead of the session. But by the end of the hour, maybe a few more teams will believe or not that Red Bull are beatable in the race this weekend. I'm going to find Bernie Collins, and we'll have a look a bit later in the session as to what we can find down here, Crofty.
Cheers, Ted. Down there listening to us, and there's the commentary box.
There's one in the commentary box. He's a believer, Danica. There are many theories in this world that people believe or don't believe, but let's discuss Red Bull on the back foot. Do we really believe that?
I do. I think they are. I think this is genuinely the weekend where that run of wins can end, and I think Ferrari could be the team to do it. They've got to execute the race perfectly, because as Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso pointed out in recent races, there's no weakness in the Red Bull camp strategically. Pit stops, they've just done throughout the season so many things so well that anyone who wants to beat them has to execute the race perfectly.
But what we've seen is that Ferrari really struggles to execute the race perfectly, whether it's strategy or mistakes. And so, you know, Ferrari might have the speed, but can they do it the whole race? Do they have the consistency over the degradation? And do they have the strategy? And are they able to execute all of those things? I think Red Bull will definitely play a role in just being able to have, they just have so much race pace. You know, even in practice qualifying, it can be somewhat close, but then when the race comes, it's just, you know, it's kind of game over. So I think it might all balance out, but I am a believer.
Yeah.
And a believer. That's also a no.
No. I'm sorry, Danica. I turned you off when you mentioned Justin Bieber.
Oh,
No.
no. I was cringing myself when she said that.
Why a believer? Honestly, my goodness me. There's much better music out there. Listen to Taylor Swift. That is it. Honestly, that is it.
Oh, we knew that she was trouble.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry, I'll stop.
No, keep going as well. It's a personal mission. We've got to get everything in as well. As they come through. Here's Bottas ahead of Zhou then. 135.082 throughout. Zhou 136.495 as well as they come through. Danica is a bit of trouble anyway as well. So her podcast is very entertaining as well, if you've ever listened to it. I can't quite tell if she's having her guests on as well, seriously or not. But it does get quite confusing sometimes. There is Liam Lawson getting ready, his third Grand Prix. And with this Grand Prix as well, it now means he's no longer a rookie in the eyes of the FIA. So they can no longer use him as part of the rookie test. Personally, I think Liam Lawson should stay in Formula One over Danny Ricciardo. It's just my opinion. I think Liam Lawson has done... Yeah. I think
Liam Lawson's done a great job so far in the AlphaTauri, considering that in his first race he got stepped up to the AlphaTauri seat quite late on, and for him to handle the tricky conditions around Zandvoort, it was pretty incredible. And he did well at Monza as well, and he's been doing well in practice in Singapore, so he's pretty much where I think Ricciardo would have been, which is impressive.
And Lawson obviously has more to even gain when he does more races as well, so he's just...
Yeah, he's going to be learning. He's going to be learning a lot as well, and puts him in the eyes of the other F1 teams as well in the future.
I think Danny Ricciardo is pretty much this. I think what he's doing right now is a warm-up to take over from Perez for next year, because I don't think Perez is staying. We've heard rumours saying that, he's got a contract to the end of 2024. Yeah, but when has Red Bull ever done it?
I think it's going to be Max at Ricciardo at Red Bull, and it's going to be Lawson and Tsunoda at AlphaTauri.
And that hurts because Perez deserves better. But
exactly.
If it's in terms of the championship, Ricciardo can fight Max for a championship. But I also think that if Red Bull were a bit more equal, Perez could have a decent shot at it as well.
But we know that they are all about their golden boy.
Yeah. Max.
I'm predicting when the championship's over, Perez is going to start bringing the fight to Max again in the next few races.
Well, Red Bull can win the title this weekend as the Constructors' Champions. And Max can win the championship next time out of the Japanese Grand Prix again. So...
I'm predicting from Austin onwards, Perez might start bringing the fight a bit.
What about... Are you just not going to let him have Qatar then?
Qatar, well...
Tight circuit.
Just one race in between.
Qatar tyres.
Yeah.
tyre temperatures are going to be a thing there.
And who's the best at handling their tyres? Williams and Alexander Albon.
The tyre whisperer.
Could we see something happen there? Because with Qatar, we've raced there before on that layout, but it is a bike circuit. It's incredibly narrow and single file, so I don't know. I hope that one thing I don't want low angles. I want some higher up angles on the TV cameras, because lap 1 a couple of years ago looked ridiculous. It looked like everyone was looked like the cars are giants going around there, and they're bigger now as well. Verstappen's in a 134.402, but the track is nowhere near the same as what it was in FP2 under the lights. So this is pretty much an irrelevant run as Lewis Hamilton leaves the pit lane. There's the Aston Martin DBX safety car just alongside.
But next year, I'm really looking forward to the F2 at Qatar as well.
Yeah.
So
Wait, is F2 going to Qatar?
next year.
The rail is still on the edge. Feels a bit too pointy. The entries.
Rear is still on edge, feels a bit too pointy at exits. I suppose. Yeah, F2's on Qatar.
Instead of Zandvoort. So I guess I'm fine with that instead of Zandvoort.
Well, we
Jess-
don't know how Qatar we're going to do with the F2 cars, so it's hard to...
Well,
Yes, we've got an idea, because they did do the GP2 Asia series there back in 2008 and 9. So we've got,
All right, okay.
I mean,
Got a little
well,
idea.
I think F2's still going to be exciting there, to be honest, somewhat. The F2's exciting really anywhere, to be honest. Other than maybe Monaco sometimes, but yeah, other than that, it's all exciting everywhere, so I think we're guaranteed some kind of action.
I think George Russell just got a little confused as to which way he was turning at his garage, because as he came out, he was turning right, not left. So, a little bit confusing. It did rain overnight here in Singapore, just to let you know. So the track is a bit more green than normal, but it should grip up quite quickly. We've had a few categories out there this morning putting some rubber down, but it's not Pirelli rubber, so it's going to be a little bit icy. It's why the track temperature's a little bit off. You can see the rubber around the outside. And Larry the Lizard, number 1, was hit by Fernando Alonso yesterday, but Larry the Lizard number 2, which was later identified as a female, and they've called it Loretta, I believe, that survived. So, yeah, they've all been all over the place at the moment. As Bottas accelerates at the exit, opens up the DRS on the run down towards turn 14. Heavy on the brake. Oh, he's 1,000 off the pace of Verstappen now. Verstappen said his
That's
time.
not bad.
Yeah, because Verstappen was on the mediums and Bottas is out there on 4-lap-old softs, so it's not bad at all, actually. You see where the sparks come off on the car, by the way? That's because for 400 metres of that layout, it is normal public road. So it's not the smooth tarmac that we have around the rest of the circuit. For 400 metres, it is proper road.
Wow.
It's bottoming the cars out and causing them to spark, and the tyres go through a beating through there as well. So just a little bit of an update on that one. Don't know, they just haven't had time to resurface that part of the track, even though we've known about this for a year. It was
So
changing.
what's happened to Verstappen there? That's on turn 8.
That's bizarre. He's gone straight on.
I think turn
Is it turn 8? I might be wrong. A lot of corners look
14,
similar.
turn 14.
Oh no, it's not turn 8.
Yeah, it's down at turn 14, and he's just gone straight. He looked like he tried to turn in and then just couldn't.
A lot of traffic.
Yeah, and he's gone through the pit lane as well as Max, so he's gone through somewhere. He's come back out on a same set of tyres, so he's just driven through the pit lane, probably to check something. Stroll goes second on a 134.574, fastest middle sector. That's changed by Sainz, who does 27.6 first sector, 39.6 second sector. So Carlos Sainz, who is coming down towards turn 16, 17 now, is having a fantastic run as we watch Lewis Hamilton. Ted.
It's about 6:10.
No Ted. Okay, they're coming to Ted, that's why. I can hear Ted talking in my ears. It's really confusing me half the time when they will refer to him. Hamilton then 6,000 off the pace. Sainz has gone to the top. So it's a 133.778 for Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Yeah, Verstappen off track and continued at turn 14. Apparently the onboard mix isn't working. That's unusual.
Is it not?
No. I'm on board with Max Verstappen now on the F1 app. as Hamilton goes third with a 1:34.412. And the Red Bull looks very twitchy, like insanely twitchy. He's on an outlap at the moment, and he's not looking good on it as well. He's changing, he's looking around a lot, so Max isn't
I
happy
wonder
with
if
that Red
it's
Bull.
setup based.
Yeah. I reckon they are. And they're on mediums as well, which is the tyre you'd run in these conditions because it's irrelevant. For everyone, well, how many is on softs? Hamilton, Bottas, Joe, Russell. That's it. Yeah, they're all on softs. Everyone else on mediums, so they're doing quali runs.
Yeah, so we got Sainz on 4-lap-old mediums, Russell on 2-lap-old softs, Verstappen on 3-lap-old mediums. So we got Hamilton 2-lap-old softs, Stroll 4-lap-old softs, Ocon 2-lap-old, no, Stroll 4-lap-old medium, sorry, Ocon 2-lap-old medium, Perez 4-lap-old mediums. And we got Leclerc 4-lap-old mediums, Gasly, I think it's 3 or 8, but I can't really tell. And then we got
3.
Hulkenberg, who is on fresh mediums, and Piastri's on hards.
Yeah,
Which is interesting.
Gasly's on 3-lap-old mediums. Norris crosses the line and goes third. Sainz still the fastest, though, from Russell and Norris, the top 3. Yeah, Max has picked up the pace now. This is Perez down towards turn 14. It's hard to tell in the daylight, isn't it, where it is?
Yeah, that's what I mean, because turn 8 and turn 14 look incredibly similar.
Yeah. There's two ends of Raffles Boulevard, isn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really similar. I always get a bit confused. It's like, oh, we're heading into turn 14 when I'm racing. No, it's only turn 8. It's like,
Look, Verstappen fastest first sector with a 27.440. Bernie Collins in the pits.
Not probably enough to even get through Q1 on that medium tyre for Mercedes. So interesting that they've decided they need that for the race at this stage.
All right, I think we got some Red Bulls on some runs, Crofty. What are we seeing from Verstappen? I see a rash of purple before in a couple of sectors for Max.
There's lots of purple. Track's really ramping up as Leclerc goes third fastest. Thank you for the time being to Bernie and to Ted. 27.4 for the first sector for Verstappen. Couldn't go purple in the middle sector though. Karun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we see Verstappen in that middle sector, a bit more slow. He had a bit of traffic, though, coming over the Anderson Bridge, so that might explain a little bit as to why he's different. But Verstappen, coming out of the last corner, is he quicker than Sainz's time? And yes, he is. It's a 1:33.660.
so I'm sure the engineer must have told Verstappen to change like a few settings or something.
Yeah. Just something to have a... Oh, Verstappen.
As Ted would say, if there's a
These upshifts, what the bleep.
What the beep.
Yeah. Not upshifts.
And there's Hamilton. There's Lewis Hamilton. Final corner.
What's he done? Just touch the
Getting
wall.
close to the wall.
Interestingly, that the T feed is showing the radio like 10 seconds after Sky F1. Lovely.
Yeah. I've noticed that as well, actually, this weekend. We're trying to get the team radio operational so we can play it through, but it's quite difficult to get it working.
It is very difficult.
Because sometimes it just blurts out. We're nearly there, though. We're nearly there. Because for some reason, it doesn't go... If Discord's on, it doesn't go louder. So, although we had David Coulthard come through, didn't we, at Monza? That was really strange. We were commentating, all of a sudden David Coulthard popped up for a little bit of a chat with us in the team.
Really?
Yeah, do you remember? We heard Coulthard.
Yeah.
During a delayed start or something like that.
Oh,
did.
yeah, it was, wasn't it? I don't know why.
Was it... Did I say Imola? I meant Monza.
No, you said Monza.
Monza.
Good, good, good. Too many tracks, I can't remember them all. So they come through. Cross the line. Well, Alonso's 1.3 seconds down, so he's on a long run stint at the moment.
He is. I have to say though, there could be people on different stints. It could be in the night time around Singapore. They really revamped the graphics in a good way. It looks so much better in the night time, like the night sky and the buildings. It looks brilliant.
Just an update for you, actually. The F1 Kids are going to be available on the Sky Red Button and Sky Race Control, but I'm also being told that they are trying to get it on Sky Showcase quite last minute. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on as Mike Crack is now watching on the screen. There's the team principal. Excuse me. the team principal down at at Aston Martin, as I've got a bit of a frog in the throat. Verstappen's into the pit lane and he's changing over tyres. After doing 6 laps on those mediums, I think he's going to stay in the pits as well. Perez in 2.
Oh, right.
Ain't too bad then.
What?
Lawson's on a good lap on those mediums. They might be on different programs, but still.
I think
And
Omi has
Leclerc's purple set to 1 on mediums.
27.394, which you can see coming through. So 90 good lap time there. I want to say good morning to George, who's watching on with us. Morning, George, on the YouTube chat. As they come
George
through.
Hampton.
Nice to see you.
Anyone on Twitch?
Presumably, but nothing's saying on the chat messages. So good morning, everybody.
So if you are watching on Twitch, say hi.
Do, because this is our new main channel. Now that we got
Exactly.
kicked off the
There we
other
go.
one. Let's have a look, see if anyone's there. No, not just yet. I'm not on the Twitch chat now.
Yeah, Lawson's going to come across the line, and it's going to be 12. So I think he struggled a little bit in that final sector, a little bit. But 12th is still good. And there's Leclerc going up towards the line now.
Oh, Charles Leclerc, 3 thousandths off the pace of Verstappen. It's a 133.663.
Ferraris are good. Ferraris are good.
So, this could be if Verstappen's got the car right, why isn't Perez?
Just
Perez.
let me know where the time is at turn 1, 2.
What we can see is a mid-speed exit turn 5 and a mid-speed last corner.
Hopefully,
Is that for TV? Is that for TV?
They won't kill you, but if you get bit, you need urgent
And there's
attention.
F1 TV
Yeah,
commentary.
So they might kill you.
Hello, Julian Farmer.
Urgent attention, but they won't kill you. Interesting. Anyway.
Our graphics department.
Alex G.
Well, let's,
Hi, Alex.
let's listen to them for a second while I get it all fixed.
Although I think that's fairly outrageous.
We need a lizard on the track to play it in, surely. Let's get Brundle down to turn 8, and then we'll see if there's any hiding out, waiting for the soft tyres to go on and create havoc like they did yesterday. Here's George Russell, final corner. He was really far out wide and almost spanked it into the
Russell
barrier
top.
there. But this time is nice and neat, and unlike yesterday, he goes to the top of the time.
Yeah, Russell to the top then, as we're on board with Lewis Hamilton at the moment on the T feed, coming down towards turn 13. Nice to hear from them. We've got the radio, but we're just trying to get it set up quickly. So yeah, that's the problem, because the settings get blocked by the timing graphics we have. So we're just trying to get the team radio working so that we can hear it. Here is Jolyon. That's Jolyon Palmer who's coming through. So there we go. Okay, so I think we've got
TV
it.
radio on in the background.
Sorry, hello Jess. Sorry, go on.
I'm tempted to have the F1 TV stuff in the background. Like I could turn it down
It's
a
on.
little bit.
Yeah, it's on the app. It's on the app to get through. Turning everything off.
Yeah, I know, and I'm subscribed to the Access thing, so I get it anyway.
Me too. Me too.
Yearly subscription.
Monthly.
But I
No.
don't really. But I don't like to listen to it because it's a spoiler.
Should we hear from Max Verstappen?
Yes.
These upshifts, what
These upshifts.
We heard that like ages ago.
Should we hear from Bottas? He said something.
some traffic there. Yeah. Blocked by the car run. Yeah.
There's Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. Oh, hang on. There is he. Here he is.
Been too neutral, the car.
Oh, Zhou's going into neutral a lot. Okay, that's not great news. I'm delighted to say that we now have the team radios working.
Woo! That's good.
Hey.
That's good.
So we will now hear the team radio that you see on the race control messages, because we used to have it, but it never used to work with Discord. But F1 have actually done an update recently, which means that they now play out louder and you can change the settings around. So we now have team radios. So, results. I missed the team radios. You get a lot of information coming on those. I don't know if anybody's... I know Josh T listens to them. and he reports back to us in the pit lane area, all of them. But they are so useful, so useful. So if you see anything popping up, you know where it's come from.
Exactly.
It's going to be a lot of fun as well, actually. I'm just actually realising another thing I can do.
What?
I can actually pop out the race control messages so I can actually see them on the stream. So I know whose radio messages it was. Sounds ridiculous, I know, but it just makes a bit more sense.
It's not ridiculous.
Yeah.
George Russell had put
What's happened now? Science's audio is wrong. Okay. Why? What's happened to the audio? Science coming across the line, 133, 195. Ah, that's what's wrong with the audio. It wasn't live. Sky were cheating us. I was wondering what was wrong. I was having a mini heart attack then. I was like, what's going on? Why have I got nothing going on in my ears? Okay. So, okay, I look forward to getting interrupted. This is a replay then of Carlos, I believe. Or was it? Oh, it's Leclerc, turn one. Oh, he's twitched.
Oh.
Just a small twitch. And gets back on the circuit.
But a twitch.
So, 36 minutes to go. And at the moment, Hamilton was on the radio last. We're being shown on the messages as they come through. But Sainz is top. If you listen to us, it's a... I still don't know who Jolyon Palmer is. Jolyon Palmer was the Renault driver from 2015 to 2017. And his father is Jonathan Palmer, who is a former Formula One racing driver, former BBC F1 commentator, and track owner of several in the UK. Owned Imola for a time, and he runs Motorsport Vision, MSV. Let's go down to Zach Brown, who's on the pit wall.
How are you? All is good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. We're loving it. Singapore, great place to come racing. Busy one for the teams and upgrades for Lando Norris that are working or not. Tell us the news from inside the garage.
They are working, which is great. All the men and women at McLaren have done a fantastic job continuing to make our car faster. Been quite impressive what they've done over the course of the year, and looking forward to then getting them on Oscar's car next weekend in Japan.
Zach, can you tell us what's going on with Oscar? Because we saw he went out on the hard tyre for a little run, but he's been in the pits for a little while. What's going on there?
Just making a few little changes. No drama. He is on a different run plan than Lando. Obviously, Lando is trying to dial in the upgrades, and Oscar's still, well, he's now learned the circuit, of course, and doing some long runs for us. Or that's the plan.
Zach, the upgrades are looking pretty good. Are you surprised at the improvement, and is that the main delta between Lando and Oscar at this point in time, or do you think that Oscar's really just still learning?
No, I'm very pleased. You know, this is what we were told by our team back at the factory to expect, and they have delivered again. So hats off to them. And Oscar obviously now knows the circuit, but there's a little bit of circuit knowledge, I'm sure, that comes with experience. But they're on different run programs. The Delta is, you know, I'm sure the upgrades have a significant part in that.
I saw you looking up at the screen there, Zach, wondering, was that your car that had set off a yellow flag? It was Liam Lawson. It wasn't Lando Norris, so you can smile now.
Yeah, coast is clear.
It's always the same. As a yellow flag comes out, and whoever we're talking to instantly looks up at the screen and think, right, now do I need to stop talking? But no, you can carry on.
Hit the barrier as well.
Yeah, Zach, I just want to ask you about Monza, because we heard, obviously, Andrea Stella saying, you know, the fact that the two drivers were that close and making contact is not something that's acceptable to the team, and that's absolutely right. But I mean, I was watching at home, so not at the race, but it kind of seemed quite a complicated strategy there, because it effectively,
if you can see anything,
for most people, it looked like Lando undercut and got ahead of Oscar. I mean, have you had a chat with the drivers? How has all that played out?
Yeah, we were trying to cover the cars behind us. We were debating on pit wall. Also, Oscar had a slightly slower pit stop, which probably compounded them coming out at the same time. So it was early in the race. We were worried about, I think it was Lewis and Fernando behind us and covering them. Lando had, I think it was a 2.1 second stop. Oscar had a slightly slower stop, so they came out on top of each other. So you never like to see your two cars touch. Fortunately, it was gentle and didn't impact the race, and maybe it's a little better execution by us on pit wall next time.
Zach, the repave from turns 1 through 5 has been much smoother and able to carry a lot more speed. Did that change the setup coming into the race here? I'm wondering, because a few guys have hit the curb and sort of spit them off, and I'm wondering if that has to do with the fact that the track is so much more smooth now.
Yeah, the drivers are reporting that the track's in pretty good shape. Their Lando's very comfortable with the upgrade, so I just came in to do another small change, or is going to come in to do another small change. But I think they're happy with the overall layout and changes of the circuit.
And so are we. Zach, thanks ever so much indeed for joining us. We'll speak to you during qualifying.
Zach Brown there as well, but we're just going to hear what Liam Lawson said on that team radio, because he and the team were talking just a second ago.
Anything we need to check, or too aggressive on power? Anything we can see?
Yeah, astroturf, and then just too aggressive on power. These tires are flat spotted.
Okay, can we do practice starts, or do you have to stop?
No, we can.
Okay, do you think we check the data if we can stay out?
So they're going to
That is really cool.
I love that. So they're going to do some practice starts. They can stay out, and even though it was flat spotted a little bit. So that was Liam Lawson on the radio.
Nice.
Brilliant. Wanted that for ages back. We used to have it, and now we've got it back again.
I can play some on my end as well if needed, but
if you see anything that we miss, do it.
Okay.
Russell 132, 883. Sainz, Verstappen, second and third, on board with Lewis Hamilton as he comes down Raffles Boulevard in towards turn 7. Flicks the car in, doesn't go too wide at the exit, hits the rumble curve, down third gear into turn 8, gently on the power as you come down in towards the Singapore Sling, past the hotel on the right-hand side. Singapore Sling still there. Ted.
Alpine. We haven't spoken too much about Alpine this weekend so far, have we? But they seem to be going about their business. Had a quiet yesterday, quiet Friday, but both Gasly and Ocon back into the pits. No major changes being made, and I'll expect to see them out again in a bit. I've got a quick lizard update for you. To lizards. It has been a topic that the organisers have been aware of. Just bear in mind they are a protected species around in Singapore. You're not allowed to really interfere with them because they are important for the ecological balance of the state in terms of what they feed on, insects, crabs, snakes, fish, etc., and what they provide food for, i.e. bigger things.
Not really. I'm still sliding on entries, and then the front is feeling quite light on the braking.
Okay, so so while I've been on Lizard Watch, Bernie Collins has been on Engineering Watch. Bernie.
Well, yeah, a little bit of that, definitely. So Leclerc, we noticed, come in, he stopped in his pit box, they changed the front wing angle, and then they sent him back out again. So that's just a little setup change to try and correct some balance issues in the car. We're seeing quite a few drivers drive through the pit lane, stop at the end, do a launch and go back out. And that's just because in these very hot track conditions, it's a nice way to do the 60 kph through the pit lane and really let those tyres cool down in the cool laps in between the flying laps, even though many are on the medium tyre. And the final thing I noticed is that as Checo Perez tried to come out of the garage earlier on, he was very, very close to hitting the pit wall. And here with the tight pit lane, the 60 kph as we know, it is often quite a hard turn for the drivers to get out. So we need to watch for that if there's any interest in qualifying, last minute chances to get out of the garage.
Yeah, normally the garages are tight here, and in places like that, Crofty, we've seen, haven't we? They position a mechanic on the pit wall to give either a thumbs up, yes, you're going to make it without taking your front wing off, or no, you're not. But that didn't stop. It was Verstappen a few races ago, was it not? Who
Silverstone.
the front wing?
No, and there's often a lot of engineers leaning over the pit wall just as an extra little double check as well, because you don't want to damage a front wing here in qualifying because they're so valuable, especially with many of the teams running upgrades and probably a bit limited on spares.
Very good. Thank you, Perez Review down there in the pit lane. Bernie Collins and Ted Kravitz as the track continues to improve. Now, we heard from Perez on the radio not liking it as we see a Ferrari do a practice start launch. But I want to hear what Perez had to say on the radio.
Was that an improvement? Not really. I'm still sliding on entries. And then the front is feeling quite light on the braking.
Yes, Perez really isn't liking that car. Hulkenberg says something as well.
Feels strange. Just don't feel I have the grip.
Hulkenberg
The braking retardation also still doesn't feel very great.
Okay, understood. We'll look at both of those.
Let's hear from Verstappen.
Sweaty.
I went wide.
Okay, let's box.
And that's how you meant to.
So Verstappen having a moment down at turn 1 as well. So Red Bull not looking great. Hulkenberg, as I step on the green screen ladder, Hulkenberg not looking too good as well, as they escape back through in the pit lane. It's not really that sunny. Someone's got the exposure wrong. As we look at GP down there in the paddock. Oh, nice Red Bull, actually. Of course, the race engineer for Max Verstappen. Giampero watching on. Piastri down in 20th
I went
place.
wide.
Okay, let's box.
That was Verstappen.
We heard that.
Yeah. It auto plays, so we can't control it. The only time we'll turn that off is during the race start, so that we get a clean run. But other than that, it'll be on all the time. As Piastri comes out of the last corner, gives it the welly. DRS Open only improves to 15th at 134.578. That was Verstappen on the radio, by the way. So now you'll hear the messages that keep coming up on the race control deck. So that's something that's been improved upon. 26 minutes to go then, and a quick run through the field. It's Russell from Hamilton, and on the track dominance, Russell is faster than Hamilton in the slow corners. Hamilton is faster in the straights. Then it's Sainz third, Verstappen fourth, Leclerc fifth, Norris is sixth, Tsunoda seventh, Alonso eighth, Magnussen ninth, and Ocon rounds out the top 10. Sargent is 11th, followed by Albon 12th, Perez 13th, Stroll 14th, Piastri is 15th. 16th for Gasly, 17th Hulkenberg, 18th Bottas, 20th is Zhou, 19th is Liam Lawson on the board. So as Leclerc comes down towards turn 7, he's 1.111 off the pace, all ones in the first sector. Let's hope they don't come over too much when I hear your voices. Yeah.
That is true.
Don't interrupt us, Radius.
Yeah, don't interrupt us at a crucial moment.
Well, I think Josh will turn it off if that's the case.
Yeah. I've got a mute button. The only problem is it goes to the same as you two. So if I mute it, I mute you as well. But say it's a really dramatic moment, there's an accident, and like we go.
You can mute tabs, by the way, Josh.
How?
What browser are you on?
Chrome.
You right-click on the tab and then click mute site, and it mutes that particular site. It doesn't mute anything else. It mutes the site. So if you're sick of FTT feed audio, you can mute it.
How do you right-click on a MacBook?
I think you hold the trackpad, and then right-click. I don't know.
Tutorial time.
I'll figure it out. I've got a mouse though I can right-click, so I'll get the Bluetooth mouse working between the sessions.
Yeah. Do that. It's sometimes there's been a few weeks where I accidentally had the T-feed tab unmuted, and I was like, I'm not meant to hear those radios, so I just muted the tab. Very handy. And I have that for PSGL as well. If I just want to view the chat and just monitor like the stream, what's coming out of the stream without hearing me twice.
This is very good. I didn't know this.
Now you do. You can also do it on Edge as well if people use Edge. Not sure about Firefox. I don't use Firefox, so.
Really need to have that information back soon. That is amazing stuff. As we take a look at it. So, Sky gone to a break. As Lawson.
We're not.
Nope, we never go on breaks, and we can't even insert ads anymore. Although, if you're watching us on JB Motorsports on the rerun, ads are in placed automatically. I've got no control of where they go anymore. But we've got no ads on the YouTube side of things at the moment.
Woo!
Thanks, Dorna. We haven't even done the counter notification yet because we've got to be so careful with what we put. So that's going to be sorted out later today.
Oh, God.
I know, I'm not looking forward to it at all. So Russell from Hamilton, Sainz, Verstappen, Leclerc, top 5 as they come into it. Oh, Lando Norris on the screen. I think it's some sort of McLaren Google Chrome thing, which would probably be the case as they come into it. Several cars out there on the circuit. So the lizard's a protected species. I wonder if Fernando Alonso might be in a bit of trouble then because he ran one over. That would be.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't see the lizard.
Yeah, that's true. You could easily get around.
George did, so he slowed down.
The yellows needed to be out a bit more. Some people are eating some form of cake. What is that? I didn't see what they were eating there on the T feed. On the pit lane channel. It was some form of. It looked great, whatever it was.
How are you watching the pit lane channel on the app on Sky?
Yeah.
All right, okay. I might do that actually. I'll get my tablet in a minute. And
if it wasn't 40 seconds behind on Sky, we would have the T feed. We'd have the pit lane channel in practice sessions instead of the Sky coverage, and then have Sky during qualifying in the race.
Yeah.
Because that's.
But because my Sky Glass is 20 seconds delayed.
Yeah. T feeds are long delayed as well, which is really annoying sometimes as well.
It's about the same as Sky Glass, I think.
Yeah. Although I did tap the onboard cameras are 38 seconds behind live pictures I timed a second ago.
Oh, interestingly, Russell's on fresh soft, so is Tsunoda, but then we know both the Ferraris are doing some long runs currently.
Piastri's at the moment down at turn 1 and 2, turned in and just went over the AstroTurf a little bit and locked the rear, and then got it back and locked the front right tyre as it comes in. So Russell and Hamilton are 1-2, but I remind you, this is not the normal weather conditions we're going to have for qualifying later, because this is a day session and qualifying takes part in the night, so it does difference between the two. And this is what we mean about how the team radios don't happen that much. In the race, you hear quite a lot of them, which is going to be very handy during Singapore, because 2 hours of talking non-stop with very limited stuff is difficult. So if we can pause every now and then to have a drink, we'll take that. But Verstappen was 5-6 minutes ago. That's the last team radio message we got. There's not many out there on the circuit.
Yeah.
Norris is out there.
Yeah.
He's just come out of the pit lane. Go on, Amy.
Yeah, so just a few drivers out there doing some different runs as well, but a lot of drivers struggling with the rear, so they got to sort that out before we go into qualifying. As we take a look at the replay now with Bottas coming in.
Is he gonna? Oh, he's run over the
Did he? Oh, I've done that on the game many times.
I did that as well.
Kimi Raikkonen famously went, black and white flag for Bottas for failing to follow the race director's instructions for crossing the line at pit lane entry.
Oh, the sun is blinding.
Really is, actually. My goodness me.
Yeah, but don't forget, Russell's on fresh soft, so I believe this might be a quali sim, even though there's no point, because it's not going to be the conditions that we see this afternoon. Well, in our time, anyway.
Just adjusted the messaging system so you can all see it. Yeah, black and white flag for Bottas, automatically given. Hello, what's happened here? The timing screen's changed around as well. Russell, hello.
No,
yeah, sorry, Jess. Did you say about Russell first sector?
I said about Russell being on fresh tyres.
First sector was a 27.050. Second sector is 3/10 up on his own best time.
Wow. And Hamilton's on fresh softs as well, so it's Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Sargent and Albon.
The track temperature is decreasing. It's now 37 degrees. When we started, it was 39, so the sun beginning to set here. It's 11 minutes past 6 in Singapore. as Russell comes in the last two corners, boots it hard and does a 1:32.364.
Wow.
Brilliant time, 7/10 faster than Hamilton. And now Mercedes just starting to pay attention.
Glimmer of hope, but we haven't seen what the Ferraris could do on fresh softs yet. Hold your horses.
It was this track, of course, where Hamilton got his best ever pole position, many people agree.
It was amazing. Was it 2019?
Yeah.
2018.
2018.
Oh, no. Over a second faster than everybody else was just insanity.
One of the best laps I've seen in Formula One.
I agree.
Honestly, all over my Twitter feed, it was all about, some people saying it's the most overrated lap, some people just, you know, all of the Hamilton, Verstappen fans arguing.
Oh.
Nice purple sector 1:26.973.
So now we're get into the glory runs of these practice sessions as Albon's looking good. He's going to jump up to 4th. Wow, 1:33.370.
What's Alonso? Alonso was a 27.5 in the first sector, 39.2 in the middle.
Nice.
So he's faster than Albon already, so probably he will jump up to like 3rd or something.
Esteban Ocon goes 2nd on a 1:32.979. That's 6/10 off the pace of Russell. So Ocon is looking incredibly quick out there as well, so don't discount him at the moment.
His last win, Hungarian Grand Prix 2021.
Fernando Alonso, of course, his last victory in Formula One came at the Chinese Grand Prix in 2013. Across the line, Alonso goes 3rd, 1:33.051. Sorry, it came at the Spanish Grand Prix.
Norris, 1:32.303.
Lando to the top then in the McLaren, proving they've still got some sort of pace. Yeah, Alonso's last win was actually the Spanish Grand Prix in 2013. I read the wrong graphic there. On the information chart.
33rd win incoming this weekend, maybe. I don't know.
He says it's his best. He says it's his best chance to do it with everybody else off the pace. So there's a possibility he could. I can't see why not. Hamilton.
There's a chance.
Oh.
I mean, if he can get pole, he has a big chance.
Now, it was a 27.3 first sector, but it's a 39.0 second sector. So Hamilton is fastest, but he's not going to beat Norris's time because he was slow in the first sector. He's 2/10 down already. So this could be a 1:32.5?
I think it could be around about that, yeah. Final corner he goes. What's it going to be for Hamilton? 3rd, 1:32.535.
Yep.
Well done, Josh.
Thank you. Thought so. Had to be. 2/10 off, and Lewis wouldn't have lost that in the last sector because it's quite flowing now. So 1:32.5 for him, 1:32.303 to beat from Norris. Very good lap time. This is Alexander Albon at 16 and 17 at the exit. Oh, did he touch the wall?
Oh, did he hit the wall? Wow.
Millimeters.
It's like fireworks or golf or something when it's like, oh, is it going to be a hole in one? Oh, no.
That is, I think, touching the wall with just about getting away with it. And the Lenovo
Piastri
branding.
and Stroll, personal best, first and second sector, 27.1 for both of them, and 39.3 for both of them.
I've just realised, if it's 3 years ago since I started eSport commentary, that means it's coming up to 3 years since we started doing every single race live. Because in 2020, we did a couple of races live, and then from Nürburgring onwards, we did them live. So we're coming up to it, yeah. It was weird to join mid-season, but it worked.
My first ever esports commentary, mid-April 2018.
Piastri goes 4th, 1:32.730. Wow, Jess, what's that, 6 years? 5 years.
Round about then, but my first years, my commentary was crap. But they still liked me. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Definitely a good commentator now. Don't worry about that, Jess. As they come into it. Tell you one thing, though. That we are missing a couple of races in 2020 that we didn't commentate on. We put one up, I think, the Italian Grand Prix, with the timing screens and the driver tracker. Alongside the radio commentary. We will be doing that for the others. So even the ones also that we broadcast live, like Silverstone and Mugello, we're going to go back, we're going to add graphics to them and upload them. So they will be sorted. So every race from 2020 onwards would be on YouTube, which I think is nice because then it's the start of the decade we started commentating.
Gasly, P10.
Nice time there. What was it? 1:33.515. Second off the pace of Hamilton. Wow, that's a second off of Hamilton.
And so middle and last sector are decent.
Copy, yeah, both purple at the moment. It's just that, yeah, down a big chunk, sector 1.
Just tell me where that is exactly.
Late braking turn 1, and late braking turn 5, and also exit turn 5.
Interesting in there for Lewis Hamilton, wanting to know if he's still fast in sectors 2 and 3. Bono telling him yes, and then also where he can still find improvements on his lap.
Which was sector 1.
Yeah, that first sector, which is the slowest on the track now. It used to be sector 3, but now it's open and flowing, so sector 1 is the slowest. I love that radio that we've got it back, because I have missed it. It's been about 7 months or so. So yeah, it's nice to have it back.
And by the way, McLaren's new livery is called Stealth Mode.
Yeah, I think it's very clever because they've done it to hide their new upgrades. Because they've got a new sort of side pod design that's very similar to Red Bull's and Ferrari. It's like a combination of the two where it dips in and pulls the air towards the rear of the car. So it's very clever what they've done there. I suppose, have we got time to film a feature after quali? Yeah, we've got time after quali to film a feature.
Well, you do.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I might get the green screen that's behind me here and do some analysis on the new upgrades, because McLaren have got new upgrades, so have Mercedes, so have Ferrari, and the biggest upgrade of the lot is Aston Martin with the rear of their car. But McLaren...
Oh, yes.
McLaren have, I think, 9 new upgrades? 9 new parts at the rear of that car?
I thought they weren't doing any more upgrades.
I think they've decided, let's just do it
oh, was that Williams?
Could be Williams, actually. Yeah, they've got a few upgrades this weekend, though, Williams. Verstappen only 4th, 1:32.636. So, still not improving out there on the track. Max getting a little bit angry. You can sense it. He's got 11 minutes left to top a session.
Verstappen, during his lap, picked up some traffic. That was why he was down a bit on his lap in the final sector.
Yellow flag is in sector 13 and DRS zone 2 has been disabled. Now, is that Alexander Albon? Yes,
no one's gone off.
It is Albon.
Albon's gone off. I think he's gone down the escape road. And he's got back going again.
Right, okay, he's got back going.
Yeah, so...
It's confusing because the first sector is labelled yellow on the TV. That's why I got a bit confused.
Yeah, I get that too. It's usually, if there's a yellow flag, we get to know where it is on the driver tracker, and you do it at home, but they've removed that feature for some reason. Albon off track and continued at turn 14. It's just been confirmed to us on the picture now.
DRS re-enabled. Science! There we go, Ferrari are cooking.
Here we go then. Ferrari finding their pace, Obi.
Go on, Obi.
Yeah, really, really interesting. Hoping they can. Leclerc disappeared off the graphic. But yeah, Sainz looking good. Ocon also looking good, I have to say. But he needs to do a tiny bit of work at turn number 6. That's where he's mostly losing. And turn 5, Sainz to the top.
Sainz 1:32.065. Leclerc is looking good. 10 minutes to go then in this third and final practice session for the Singapore Grand Prix. Leclerc down in 13th place at the moment, but is on the lap, going to do some runs. He's on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. But he's got Piastri alongside him as well, so that's causing a bit of trouble.
Personal best first sector for Carlos Sainz, but not as quick as Norris. So again, he can find time in the first sector, so Sainz can go quicker.
Albon just locked up and bailed out the corner down into turn 14.
And someone said on the TV chat, this is Ferrari's to lose. Yes, it is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is... Oh, that's Verstappen. Getting out of the way.
That was the traffic I was talking about.
I cannot drive to these upshifts. What the is this?
Understood. We were anticipating the comment. I'll have a look, see if I can give you a switch position.
Unacceptable.
It's not the drafty thingy of what's it called?
No, it's
the dry shaft.
It could be, because those upshifts are really not working, and
And it always happens on night tracks, because he had it Saudi Arabia, didn't he?
And Bahrain, yeah. Bahrain, they had gearbox temperature issues. Saudi Arabia, the drive shaft failed in qualifying, cost him a grid position as well.
Were there any other night races before this? Well, it can't be, because it's not night time. So, could be cooler temperatures, maybe, that he doesn't like.
What is this?
Understood. We were anticipating
What the is this?
I'll have a look, see if I can give you a switch position.
Unacceptable.
He doesn't like it.
Usually there's a little bit more we hear on the T feed that isn't broadcast on television, so I was just wondering if there's anything else there, but he didn't. Doesn't like it. Does not like it.
Leclerc was purple in one of the mini sectors, but in sector 2 he was only green, but he is personal best in 7 thousandths slower than Sainz. So if he has a good final sector, maybe he could get up there as he heads towards. Hopefully we can see more overtakes there. We could. As it's getting quite darker here in Singapore as Magnussen goes 8th fastest. Leclerc goes up to the line. Is it going to be only 4th fastest? So he lost a few attempts in that final sector. 26.4 compared to Sainz's 26.1.
So a good time coming at the moment in this practice. Ted?
Piastri.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were going on to Ted.
Now Hulkenberg in the top 8, Perez 9th and Magnussen 10th. To Aston Martin's, on this evidence, struggling a touch, but Alonso on a personal best in the first sector currently. Strolls on a slow-down lap, 7 minutes to go. Ted Kravitz, down to you.
There's Ted.
Glad you mentioned Fernando Alonso. That's the lap time I want to see. All right, they haven't been really troubling the top 3 in qualifying recently. Race pace, more or less, Aston Martin's forte, but I want to see the result of this Alonso. While you see it and tell us what happens, Crofty, Bernie Collins, looking forward to qualifying then. What's the key for you? First of all, let's deal with traffic, because the race director has abandoned the "you must not dawdle on the outlap" missive that we had in Monza. What do you make of that?
Here it's about having a good gap in front of you at the
2
turn around.
seconds.
Team radio.
2 seconds.
Boxes lap. I'd like to test something on the upshifts.
Why did you just get to the pits?
I know. Boxes lap.
How bad Bernie, how bad are these upshifts? I mean, he feels it that it's not a physical thing that he's like going up first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It's just that it's hurting his speed and what he wants to do with the car.
Yeah, exactly. It will be hurting his speed, and that's sort of what he'd see. He might feel a little like hesitation in the car. It's not going to be as jottery as you might expect, let's say, from your road car, but he's definitely fit to feel it. It could be that he's upsetting the balance of the car getting on throttle. So he's driving right at the limit of the grip of the tyre, and that little upsetness from the shift, that little sort of jilt to the rear tyres is just enough to allow him to lose grip. So he'll have sort of a slight spin of the rear tyre then.
Okay, so back to traffic in qualifying. Is that the strategist department to make sure you get a nice pocket of track for the driver to slot into?
Yeah, there's a lot of work done in advance to try and get your driver out at a time that you think that other drivers are going to be doing a similar program. So you don't want to be out of phase or have to let a lot of cars through that are going fast. You're trying to, in this track, very, very different to Monza, you're trying to get a good gap ahead. So you're probably looking around 6 or 7 seconds each car would ideally want ahead of them. So you're continuously telling your driver the gap to the car ahead, how much time they can lose, and who's coming quickly behind. So from a strategist point of view, there's a lot going on.
Okay, well, listen, Bernie, you've got to get back to presentation with Simon. Sainz quickest, just quickly from you. I think his confidence is sky high, Carlos Sainz, and I wouldn't put it past him making that front row in either position. What do you think?
I totally agree. It's going to be a really interesting qualifying. Ferrari have looked so confident in that car, and you can't do better than finishing the P3 session in that P1 position going into qualifying this afternoon.
Okay, great stuff, Bernie. Thanks very much. Crofty, back to you.
Well, this is certainly looking like an enchanted evening for Carlos Sainz here at Singapore. Can he take pole position number 5 of his career? And 2 poles back-to-back as there's a massive slide coming out of turn 7 on a slow run. Got on the curb and the rear stepped out on him as well. But this could be very, very good for Carlos Sainz. A lot of interest coming through. And I think Jess as well, we're going to just be shaking in qualifying. It's going to be a dramatic hour. Oh, mute. Oh, no, never mind. Go on, Jess.
I heard you.
Yeah, I thought I was on mute for a second then.
I couldn't hear you either. Go on. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. And I can hear myself, Josh.
Ah. How's that?
Hello. Yeah, that's fine.
Good, good, good. No idea what's going on with our systems. That just glitched. Russell second.
P2.
69 thousandths off the pace of science. Very nice time. 1:32.134. So, Omi, Leclerc fourth, Sainz on top. Sainz is now dangerously close to out-qualifying Leclerc this season. Opinions, please?
Well, he's had great form, really. All the way from Monza, had a lot of confidence right now in him as well, and he's been driving absolutely brilliantly. So I would not be surprised if he does take pole. But yeah, Sainz really is doing well. But yeah, there's going to be so much going on in that qualifying hour. Traffic, as Bernie Collins was touching on, going to be a major issue. All teams already practicing, trying to keep gaps in this practice session already, and the engine is really reporting very quickly as well. To update the driver about all of the cars around as well. Lawson being told he has to do a tiny bit of work as well through turn number 1. A lot of drivers struggling through turn 5. So a lot going on. And some teams probably won't feel too much ready, because there's a lot of teams who still have a lot of things to sort out. They're not all drivers in this field are feeling too confident, especially the man we're on board with if you're synced up with us, Max Verstappen.
Jeff says another great live stream with a thumbs up. Thank you very much, Jeff. Nice to have you here on JB2. Of course, if you're watching us on JB Motorsports 1 on the full replay, we are live on JB2. You will get redirected to the live qualifying stream immediately after this show ends if you're watching on the JB Motorsports main channel on the replay. If you're watching live, just don't do anything as well. But we are here throughout the weekend as well. So as it comes through.
Hopefully Josh T will join us.
Hopefully. Oh, Leclerc sliding. That's both Ferraris down in turn 7, sliding the rear.
No, that's not turn 7. That's turn 14, I think.
No, it was. Look at turn 9 now. It's impossible. You can't tell.
It's so confusing.
Can't tell where it is in the day. Honestly, it throws me as well. I only knew because I looked down at the turn signals, because the track looks completely different at night than it does today.
It does. It really does. Imagine what it's like if they ever race in the day in Singapore. That will be interesting.
Well, there was a rumour back in 2021 that we were going to race here twice, because it was going to come back on the calendar. And it was going to be a double header, that we'd have the Singapore Grand Prix, and then a week later we would have a different Grand Prix called the Marina Bay Grand Prix, and that would be a day race. So Singapore would be night, and Marina Bay's Grand Prix would be the day race of Singapore. But it never happened. But they are looking at the possibility of running a day race at this time as well, going forward, as like a one-off event in the future. But the night race is sort of its key feature. I love Singapore. I love this track. It's so good. Just
tapping over the line before, and he was being asked to actually do some work as well on that lap, trying a few different things to check if it's better. But yeah, both Ferraris having a few snaps as well, but they're both looking quick, aren't they? Both Ferraris.
They are.
They really are. This is looking good. For the third session then, Ferrari top this runs, and Verstappen cannot do anything about it. And this is Charles Leclerc down Raffles Boulevard into turn 7. Watch the rear. He'll lose an exit as soon as he gets to the power, and the curb just elevates it as well. But he already lost it coming in.
Oh.
Checker flag has dropped. Joe's crossed the line. P19 only for him, even though he improved to 1:33.637.
For some reason, I thought just said yellow flag.
I thought she
said I said checkered flag.
Leclerc's on another run. I think he hasn't. Has he taken the flag? No, Leclerc hasn't. What's his first sector? 27.2. Now he's off the pace. This is looking good. Oh, he's locked up into 13 after the Anderson Bridge. This is looking good for Ferrari. Very, very good for Ferrari. And a lot of runs in that session, actually. It's been a busy hour.
And Norris.
Do you know what's surprising me about this?
What?
We're in Singapore. We've not had one red flag in practice, and usually we have loads.
Oh,
Now we're going to get it in quali, thanks to you. Thanks, Josh.
Well, I don't think we are.
And also the race. But to be honest, we don't mind in the race.
Yeah.
And then we can go to the
No,
main.
no red flag in the race, please. Thank you.
No, we want to go to the main
Practice for
channel.
One Hub tomorrow.
We want to go to the main channel, Jess.
That's what we want. If we want to be on the main channel.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But we are going to keep an eye on that, by the way, if we get our live streams back tomorrow.
Yeah, because I've got to practice for One Hub, for Verstappen Radio.
Upshift feedback, please, Max.
Yeah, maybe a little bit smoother. But yeah, miles up still. It's just getting weird speed. It's not only upshift, it's a downshift.
Okay, so
Okay.
Let's hear from him again. Are we not?
upshift feedback, please, Max.
Yeah, maybe a little bit smoother. But yeah, miles up still. It's just getting weird speed. It's not only upshift, it's a downshift.
Okay,
so Red Bull.
This is going to be interesting. Perez also struggling as well, really with traction mainly out of corners. So Red Bull have a lot of issues going into qualifying where the driver's not feeling too confident. Could we maybe not even have a Red Bull in the top 3 this time?
I wonder.
Qualifying, that could be interesting.
I'll tell you what, is it us? Have we done a Red Bull curse? We're not on the main channel this weekend, and Red Bull are poor. It's like the one.
But I'm looking at race simulations, and Red Bull are second in that, and Ferrari's P1.
And we know Ferrari don't exactly do very well with pit stops either, so Red Bull will probably
Exactly.
get,
So don't count your chickens yet. I've done my research.
If this is going to be... let's hear from Max again.
I'm just struggling for rear grip. You see that last sector, they should just drifting. I think if I'm beaten drifting, I might win the race.
And you wouldn't put it past him.
Drifting as well, the Formula Drift.
Drifting competition.
Oh, God, this Red Bull is not looking good this weekend, and I've not said that in a very long time.
It's not.
This is fun. GP is going to be stressed as they do the practice starts of the grid. Wow. Qualifying is not one to be missed. Live on JB Motorsports 2 and Joshua Birch Motorsports on Twitch. Full race coverage throughout the weekend in replays on the main channel.
They should just drifting. I think if I'm beaten drifting, I might win the race.
So we're hearing Verstappen. Can we not hear them twice, please?
It's the Sky coverage. They play it, and then we hear it again. But sometimes, like with the Hamilton, we hear things that are on the TV that aren't on the world feed.
Yeah, can we like find a way to mute the tab, please?
I'll get that sorted for the next session. I'll get that all fixed.
Thank you, because it's weird.
Yeah, hearing them twice. It's just a bit, tiny bit.
So let's hear from Max Verstappen then and see what his start's like on the upshift. Let's take a listen. That was bad. That's a very bad launch from Max there. He got it up to 10,000 RPM. And as soon as he selected first gear and slowly released the clutch, the amount of wheel spin he got, and as soon as he went to first gear, he hit the rev limiter. So I saw him, he pulled down for second, but it hit the rev limiter. So the gearbox isn't in sync. That's going to be a lot of work.
That is interesting. Here we go, results, Josh.
Carlos Sainz tops practice 3, Ferrari topping every session, and Sainz topping practice 2 and 3. George Russell second, head of Lando Norris in third. Max Verstappen is fourth, and Carlos Sainz in fifth. Lewis Hamilton sixth. Oscar Piastri is seventh. Sergio Perez eighth. Nico Hülkenberg ninth, and Yuki Tsunoda rounds out the top 10. 11th for Kevin Magnussen, 12th for Esteban Ocon, 13th Fernando Alonso. 14th on the board comes to Lance Stroll, 15th for Gasly, Liam Lawson 16th, Alexander Albon is 17th, Valtteri Bottas 18th, Zhou Guanyu in 19th, and Logan Sargent down in 20th position. A lot of work from him to do to get up there for the next session, the same as Alexander Albon. It's Carlos Sainz and Ferrari who top the third practice session. And fingers crossed, it's going to be a very interesting remainder of the weekend. And I think as well, Jess and Omi are still alongside me in the comments box. There's a lot of worry going around right now. Red Bull are really off the pace, but Ferrari just are strong. Do they have the qualifying pace? Because we know Max always brings something out the bag.
I said that yesterday in FP2. I still think Sainz has got some pace in the bag in qualifying. I'm still sticking with my prediction. Sainz for pole. I'm calling it.
Brave. I'm agreeing with you. It's a brave call to put anything on there, but he did get pole position last time out at the Italian Grand Prix as well. Let's not forget.
He did.
Going through, Omi, what about you? What are you making of it?
Yeah, really, really interesting, and there's going to be so many drivers in contention. It's going to be interesting to see if Red Bull can maybe get it together, but Ferrari definitely look incredibly strong. So, yeah, we're going to be in for a fantastic qualifying. Are Red Bull even going to be in the top 3? We're going to have to find out, but qualifying, we've had a lot of great qualifyings this season, and I think this will definitely be another one.
It's going to be great, and we will be live on JB Motorsports 2 on YouTube and Joshua Birch Motorsports on Twitch. The links for those are down below as well. If you're watching us on the main YouTube channel on the rerun, you don't have to do anything. You'll be automatically redirected to the qualifying session as soon as this program is ended. My thanks to everybody watching us live and on the rerun. My thanks to Jess and Omi once again up in the commentary box. We'll be back then in 2 hours' time, ready for qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix. Ferrari look good. Red Bull are genuinely off the pace. There is so much to look forward to. Could be the best qualifying of the season, and Red Bull genuinely struggling. My thanks to Jess, my thanks to Owen, thanks to all of you. We'll be back in a couple of hours for qualifying. Go have some lunch. Or if you're in Singapore, go have some tea. Bye-bye.